And I feel it's time now for me to come back and start showing you the real evidence, the real cover up, the real conspiracy behind what's happened with my son Ambrose. We were waiting for the IPCC, or stroke IOPC. We were waiting for their report to come back. This 3-year investigation into I was addressed, how I was treated, how my son, everything that happened to my son, all of that should have been addressed. Before we were waiting for the reason we were waiting, I know, and I've told a few people that we've got we were in possession of 3 bundles that the court had given us by accident, and that same day when they realised they'd given us the wrong information, the 3 bundles they'd given us, they wanted a courier they're sending a courier to come and pick up those 3 files that have sensitive information. It was an accident, there was a mistake that they would get passed over to us. The courier, oh God. It's alright, I can do the cutting. It's gonna be your courier. That they're sending a courier. Sorry. They're sending a courier to come and pick up the 3 bundles, 3 massive bundles that we shouldn't have had. We shouldn't have been given. And we were given that on the day of that court case, that particular day. But they realised they shouldn't have given it to us, and they sent the courier. Yes, that night, that same day. So they said we're not to photocopy any of it. We're not to show it to anyone. We're not to expose it to anyone. It's sensitive information, and it was a mistake. Of course, okay, all right. We'll wait for the courier, and we'll hand you back your documents. But of course, we photocopied it all, because after the way they treated me, from the day that I met from the day that I called them about Ambrose, within 5-6 hours of my son going missing, they've done nothing but avoid me and the truth and investigate everything that's happened. Okay, but I of course, this is about my son. I was going to photocopy them bundles before they went back. There was no way I was going to let that information go, because there's something they do not want us to say, but it's to do with my child. And as Mr. Walker said, you have the right to be on an even playing field, and that means you have everything and have everything in your hands that the Metropolitan Police have, so that you're on an equal playing field. And when you see what was in these 3 bundles, which I'm just going to show you the start of it before we go really into this, just to show you the start of what this struggle's been, that we know we were telling the truth. Okay, we had all that information with the 3 bundles that we weren't allowed to have, but we give the IOPCC a chance, because they must come back with, the police, they were negligible, they were horrible, they didn't do their job when Ambrose went missing, they ignored me that whole weekend, and they've done everything wrong since, but yet not one single person in the IPCC or the IOPC had said, can I just tell you that first of all, I'm going to read this first paragraph of the opening of the introduction of this report from the that we've waited for 3 years, and this is the first thing it comes out with, and I've taken it on. On Friday the 23rd of January 2015, Mr. Ball went out with friends to the Fox Public House in Palmer's Green, North London, An altercation subsequently broke out between a number of people, and Mr. Ball left before the police arrived. Right. On those documents that we were not to look at, the sensitive information that we shouldn't have had no knowledge of or photocopied, we got that from the IOPC, and they're saying that the police they weren't even there. When we know from the beginning they were leading us to believe for the first year that Ambrose had left the Fox pub, and I believe it was 152, and but what they've done is they've got the cell net, the telephone of where the phone was, which you can't mess about with the cell phone, the AMPR, all that you cannot lie or change. So they've got that fact, which they're saying Ambrose's phone was cell-sighted at sorry, I'll get the at Chayside. Sorry, because all the places are different. At Chayside, his car, his phone was cell-sighted at that place, and I was 152. Where they led us to believe 152, he was still at the Fox pub, but yet the phone was cell-sighted at Chayside at the same time. 152. The car and the phone can't be in two places at once. It can't be at the Fox because that's where my son was, and it can't be where his phone was at Chayside, because they've already told us that that's the time. But what they've done, they've had to change the time because the cell sighting thing they can't change. So now they've realised, oh no, we've messed up, because now we've got to show that cell sighting of my son's phone to prove that my son was driving his car. They've changed the time and said it's 1:48. They've taken it back 3 minutes, 4 minutes. They've taken it back so now it's no longer the 152. It's now, by the time it got to the inquest, it's now become 1:48 that he left the pub. That he left the Fox. So now, when we've seen this, what the IPCC or IOPC, it's the same thing. IPCC, I don't care who they are. They're the same company, the same man, the same person that's done all of it in a 3-year investigation. The same man that's done this report, terms of reference, and then to see that the first thing that one out of hundreds that comes after this first paragraph that I've just read to you, hundreds. What we've seen now is this is just a fine example of the first taste of what they've done. On the real hidden bundle that we never know about, we started looking at it, studying it more, and what the real time was by the original first officer that was on the scene that before any of this changed. The real time and the first phone call that was ever made to the police from that pub was 1:36. Now, you can't change that time, because that was in the folders they hid from us. The 3 bundles that was in, but that's nothing. It goes further than that. That's just one timing, and for him to say that my son was not, the police had not arrived, then why was the first phone call 1:36? Then the second, I think it was the second time at the radio was at 1:41, saying it's all kicking off. Send more people, more units. Now my son's there, and the assailant is still on location. That's at 1:46, and then at 1:45, but at 1:45 they got to the pub. The police were at the pub. So, but yet
they're at the pub from 1:41.
Sorry, 1:41. Oh, I got it back to front. I do apologise. See, I'm
like
terrible.
We're going to do the split again.
No, I'm terrible. Gina, you know that what I'm like for numbers. That's why I had to write it down. Nobody knows I'm terrible at the timing.
Right.
Because my concentration is elsewhere. I know it's horrible to say, but thank God for you that you've done this. Because otherwise I'll sound like an idiot, wouldn't I?
No.
Right, so basically the call...
The police were there at 1:41.
At the pub, right. So no matter what anybody says, Ambrose was there, 1:52. My son was at that pub when the police were there. So for Mr. Chris Lovell, I don't even want to mention his name, but for them to come back and tell me my son wasn't there, and then to just leave it like this and nobody to even pay attention to what IOPC has just followed the police and the CPS, and there's no way on this universe that we're going to accept this. This is unlawful. You can't do this. And we've got more than this. All this information is going to come out. What we've found in those 3 bundles that I don't think 90% of you are going to even believe. How they could do this to a woman, a mother, and her murdered son. You're not going to believe how far these people have gone. And I don't want to, because I want to show a nice side of me. And I want to keep it there. It's just I have a way of expressing myself, and I don't want to go into anger. So I'm not angry now. I want justice, and I want the right thing done. And you're going to see the evidence of proof in black and white how far these people have all stuck together and gone right to the House of Commons and still leave me with the body in a morgue.
And Andrew Walker.
And Andrew Walker, sir, I want you debarred. I want your job, because personally you're disgusting. and I don't really want to go there, but I think you are the lowest form out of all these people that have done this to me. You are the lowest form of man that I've ever met. Now, you've got away with this for so long, only God knows, but I'm going to end it there, and you will be seeing so much more and show you how deep this system is and how nasty it is, and they're not getting away with it. This could be one of your children, and it will be one of yours. As soon as they've done wrong, everybody, even the Prime Minister of the country, no, don't worry, we're there, we're back, you know you're safe, you'll never get, nah, this is my child. And every one of them know what happens, and this is my child, it's not going to happen. It can never happen. If I want to kill myself afterwards, I'll do that. But until I get justice that my son deserves, I am going to keep fighting, and I need your help. And you will see the truth, because there's a lot going to come out. So much we've been working on that's got to come out and show to you. We've just waited for the IPCC. They have obviously done exactly what everybody else has done to us. So I have no choice to do what I'm doing. You can't do that to me and expect me to sit back and lay back and take it. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. And I'll leave. You'll hear us. This is just the tip of the iceberg. That's all I've got to say. Just by this information only, that my son was at that pub, and witnesses have said it. That too many people have said the police were there. We saw my son run up to the police half naked, and there's nothing. They've never shown my son come back down since then. So anything after that is a setup, and everything they've done is a setup until you show me different. So please, I need help. Thank you.
Goes down, haunted love.